So I was on social media the other day and I scrolled past this post, right? And there was this image, and I'm gonna put the image next to me so y'all can see it, of three children. It was a cartoon image, right? Like a drawing. Three children, and they were all drawing on a chalkboard, right? Now, this is the thing. They were small children, right? So, they couldn't really reach the chalkboard to draw. And because of that, two of the children had stacks of books to stand on, right? While the third child did not, okay? So the child who did not have a stack of books to stand on was a little black boy. And there was an Asian girl and a white boy standing on stacks of books, right? So the caption on this picture was something like, black people, we're not given as much as other groups, but we always make it work, right? Like, even without the stacks of books to assist us, we still get the drawing done, right? When I tell y'all, folks in the comments were heated. Oh, they was mad. I'm going to focus on one specific comment that was left by a white woman, right? So she left a comment and she was like, I'm not sure, like, in what bizarre world the girl would have the most privilege, right? And to be fair, like I said, there were two kids standing on stacks of books, an Asian girl and a white boy, right? And the Asian girl's stack was taller than the white boy's, okay? Which, in my personal opinion, that should not have been the case because, like, a white boy, seriously, he's white and a boy, like, be for real, right? But I commented to her and I told her my honest opinion as someone who is black and a woman, right? Now, my identity as somebody who is black and a woman means that I can give you a first-hand account of racism, is specifically against black people, because anti-black racism is a whole nother thing. I'm gonna tell you this right now, black people go through the most when it comes to racism. I'm not saying that other non-white people don't go through anything, but the truth is black people go through the most, okay? So I can speak on anti-black racism from a first-hand account, and I can also speak on, sexism on a first-hand account, right? Now, clearly, if I am in a community with black people, then yeah, we're all black, so that gets canceled out, right? And then yeah, people focus on the fact that I'm a woman, right? But when I'm in greater society, with like all types of non-black people and stuff, I don't think I'm ever treated like just a woman. I'm either treated as a black person or a black woman. I never get treated as just a woman. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the honest to God truth. The closest I will get to being treated as a woman is somebody talking down to me or treating me poorly or something for being black and a woman. It's never just uniquely anything about like womanhood, right? It's always black and woman combined. So I explained this to this woman, right? And I don't know why I even bothered to try, because it's like talking to a brick wall. Like these people don't want to understand, right? So I explained this to her and she gets defensive and she says, you're trying to make it sound like I don't experience any struggles because I'm a white woman. I'm a woman first. And I said, well, there you go. You're a woman first. I'm black first. Like, you thought that I was going to see that and be like, yeah, sister, right on. But no, that speaks to how different our experiences are, because as a white woman, yeah, you're a woman first because that's the only basis that you're oppressed off of, right? But I'm black and a woman, okay? And I'm telling you right now that the oppression that I face is either because I'm black or because I'm black and a woman at the same time. It's some combination of those. It's never because I'm solely a woman. I remember I was in graduate school and I had to meet up with this white girl because we were both teaching assistants for the same course, right? So she was telling me about some professor she had who didn't like her and so and yada, yada, yada. And like, I forget the exact conversation, but I was just so confused. And I'm like, wait, like what? So then she's like, yeah, he doesn't like me because I'm like an outspoken girl, so and so, yada, yada, yada. And I almost laughed in her face. Like, I literally was like, girl, anyway, right? Because I remember I had a professor back, in undergrad years, okay? And he was rude. He was like real snippy, always short with folks, And I had to ask myself, I was like, is he racist? Cause he was a white guy, right? But that's my thing. This professor in question in my story was a white guy. And, even though he's a guy, my first thought was not, is he sexist? Is he talking to me crazy because I'm a woman? No, my first thought was, is he racist? Is he talking to me crazy because I'm black? You know what I'm saying? Because, again, the forefront of my identity is not my womanhood. It's my blackness. This brings me to Women's History Month because I'm recording this on March 1st, right? Now, black women, y'all let me know if I'm the only person who feels like this, right? If I'm the only black woman who feels like this, right? During Women's History Month, I don't view the accomplishments of non-black women as my own. When somebody posts about a white woman or Asian woman or somebody doing something, I don't view that as anything, anything that's progressing my people in the right direction, anything that's going to benefit me, any win for people like me, anything like that, right? But then during Black History Month, when people post about black men's accomplishments, I do view those as, progress for myself, right? So like during Black History Month, if somebody posts like, oh, this black man was the first black person to be allowed to attend this university or whatever, I view that as a huge win for myself. I'm like, oh yeah, he was the first one of us to do this, that, right? But then during Women's History Month, when somebody says, oh, this white woman was the first woman to attend this university, I'm just like, that's just another white person going to a white people's school. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't view anything these people do as pertaining to me. For example, let's talk about Susan B. Anthony. She was big on women's suffrage. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, women, we getting the right to vote, right? But listen to that quote where she says she'd rather cut off her right arm than fight for the right of the Negro to vote instead of the woman, okay? So she separates the Negro and the woman, which shows you that she clearly views womanhood as pertaining to white women only, right? So she didn't think, there are Negro women. There are Negro women who I should be fighting for the right to vote as well. If I'm sitting here fighting for women's rights to vote, right? No, she alienated all of these Negro women. We did not get the right to vote. We, black women, did not get the right to vote until the Voting Rights Act was passed, where it said, okay, white people, y'all got to stop, terrorizing black people at the polls. You know what I'm saying? So white women gained the right to vote in like 1920 or 1921 or something, right? But black women did not gain the right to vote until 1964 or 65, whenever the Voting Rights Act was passed. So it's like, well, if women gained the right to vote, then shouldn't black women have gained the right to vote? But no, because these people, again, don't treat us like women. They treat us like black people. This reminds me years ago, I was working at this stupid job, right? And they used to get on my nerves because they was always doing these dumb icebreakers. I'm like, baby, I'm just here to get a check. Like, leave me alone, right? So I was working at this job over the summer, right? And it had to have been 4th of July weekend, like Independence Day, right? Because the icebreaker was, what was the biggest American historical moment to you or whatever, something on those lines, right? So we in this big group, right? And it's a bunch of white people and then me and one other black person, right? So they going around this circle asking them, what's like the biggest moment in American history for you, right? So all the white guys, they're saying like, yeah, the Boston Tea Party, yeah, right? And then all the white girls, they're saying, oh yeah, women got the right to vote in 1920 or 1921 or something, whatever, right? So then they get to me and I was like, slavery getting abolished? Like, what? Right? So then the whole circle got real quiet and they were like, well, yeah, like, golly gee, that's a good one, buddy. But again, this just shows you that I'm living a completely different experience from white women. Right now, mind you, white men not even in the running. They was just off in space somewhere, right? But even white women, people I'm supposed to be able to relate to because we're both women, we're just not on the same page at all. I recently recorded a video about how white women and white LGBTQ people vastly overestimate how oppressed they are, right? Because in their mind, cisgender heterosexual white men are all the way up here and the, LGBTQ and white women are like down here with the coloreds and stuff, right? And that's really not the case. That's really not the case. What really happens is cisgender heterosexual white men are up here and then white women in the LGBTQ are like right here, like right underneath them. And then, like non-black people who are cisgender and heterosexual are like here, you know what I'm saying? And then the non-black people who are, like LGBTQ and women and whatever, they're right here. And then black people who are blah, blah, blah right here. You know what I'm saying? Like the biggest thing separating us is not gender or, sexual orientation or anything like that. It's race, baby. The rungs on the ladder are hugely spaced apart based off of race.